It's time to nut up or sit down and watch Zombieland Double Tap.
We need to get a new catchphrase.
At our local multiplex. Hi, welcome to a very, I imagine, brief Big Damn reaction video. We have just got out of a screening of Zombieland Double Tap.
I think you'll find it's a Big Damn review. This is legitimate criticism, Christopher. Legitimate car criticism.
In the car with me is Matthew, good God, Watson.
Good God, man!
And in the back is my lovely lady wife, Lucy Johnson. Hi.
Hello.
There she is. That's a hand. You'll be able to see that. And I am relatively entertained, I guess. Zombieland 2, or Zombieland Double Tap, is the sequel to the 2009 movie Zombieland by, what are the names again?
Ruben Fleischer.
Ruben Fleischer.
He's the director and co-writer. I
And-
can't remember what the other writer's called.
Is it Rhett Reese?
Oh yeah, I think it is.
Yeah.
Oh, no, it's the guys who worked on Deadpool, Rhett Reese and the other guy.
That's it. So these are the guys who gave us Zombieland,
Yeah.
which is consensus in the car.
Pretty damn good. Yeah,
Pretty great,
like,
pretty great film.
Pretty good genre comedy.
Yeah, very
I like
good.
it very much.
It's not Shaun of the Dead, but it's pretty good
It wishes it was Shaun of the Dead,
in places.
but not as much as Zombieland Double Tap does.
Oh. These guys have gone on to, like Matt said, they've written the 2 Deadpool movies,
Presumably
and
are working on the third when that happens. It's a head only. It's a head only. The fuck is wrong with you?
oh god, sorry, we're driving home in case you can't tell.
It's fucking a head only.
Ruben Fleischer has directed, in the meantime, God, what are the other movies he's done?
Gangster Squad and
Gangster Squad and Venom. Knock knock, let the ship film in. And yeah, so it's that mix of pedigree. They have worked on some really interesting, fun genre stuff with a dark comedic angle, and they've worked on some utter garbage of the same ilk.
It's a mixed bag.
Zombieland may have been, as Matt said as we were leaving the cinema for this second one, Zombieland may have been a fluke. This isn't a great film. It's a ton of fun in places,
A ton is a strong word.
and it's pretty alright. It's a monster truck of fun in places, and it's pretty grim and violent in others in a way that is very satisfying for the zombie genre. There's some brilliant, and obviously there's a gimmick that clearly exists from its original TV conception days of the Zombie Kill of the Week, which is now Zombie Kill of the Year, which, I'll be honest, weren't as spectacular as it teed it up to be.
Nope. A lot of that.
Although, well, to be fair, there's one in Italy that is quite like, if this film was completely goofy like this, I'd really appreciate this more. But so there's certain traits are still there from the original. The rules play a big part. Of course, the cast return: Jesse Eisenberg as Columbus, Woody Harrelson as Tallahassee, Emma Stone as Wichita, and Abigail Breslin as Little Rock.
Well, you can't turn there. You can't turn there.
Oh God!
You actually can't turn there, you wanker.
PG.
Funnily enough, these are Matt's thoughts on the film.
What the fuck is going on with people tonight? We film on the drive home and everybody decides to drive like a fuckwit.
Maybe while we're filming, we're not realising that the zombie apocalypse has started.
Fuck me sideways.
The film picks up 10 years after the original, and the gang are still together. Tallahassee's sort of adopted a bit of a the paternal role toward Little Rock, which, having rewatched the first one last night, I think Lou and I were probably thinking the same thing. It was kind of a callback to oh God, what was he called? Was it Buck?
I don't know what you're talking
Might have
about.
that wrong. Tallahassee's relationship with his dog.
Oh, yes.
Quote unquote dog.
Yeah, it felt like a callback to that, but then they never dwelled on it enough for it to matter. And I think when there's been 10 years between your movies, you should probably recap some things for people.
I think a common theme in Zombieland Double Tap was not dwelling on things enough for them to matter.
Yeah,
And dwelling on things that don't matter for too long.
like certain gags that don't go anywhere. This is ultimately a horror comedy. There are some bits that do hit. New character Madison is... Do we know the actor?
I can't remember the actress.
Can't remember her name. We'll talk about it more in the podcast. New character Madison is played very well, and she does a lot with some kind of tired, like, gags and
Like,
ideas.
it's material that would have been old in 2009 when the first Zombieland came out. It's practically fucking ancient now.
Yeah. Like, my congratulations to her for finding ways to make it at least interesting in the delivery.
Yeah, she's an interesting screen presence, but the writing for that character is absolute dog shit.
Oh god, yeah. Fox.
Fox on the Eastlands.
Fox on the roads. Rosario Dawson fares slightly better if underutilized.
Still falls victim to a gross gag or two.
Yeah, again, mostly recurring gags. It doesn't quite work.
There's a recurring gag with that character
Who's the guy? Who's the Tallahassee mirror that appears in the trailer?
Luke Wilson.
Luke Wilson's character is there. Thomas Middleditch's character is there. A waste of him because he's excellent, really. It takes a lot of swings, and that's commendable. The problem is so many of them are misses.
The thing is, they're really low swings.
Yeah, it feels like
it's like a couple of stone monkeys clawing at low hanging fruit and missing.
you leave a couple,
but still giggling uproariously because they think it's really funny.
Yeah, I think the best way to sort of describe how I felt the writing went was, Lou and I absolutely adore The Mighty Boosh. It's one of our favourite shows ever. But it's very clear from their following work that the chemistry that makes that so unbelievably brilliant isn't there as much in Julian Barrett's and Noel Fielding's individual efforts elsewhere.
Yeah.
This feels like the first Zombieland worked because it was a passion project they wanted to make for ages in some form, TV originally. And they've been storing it, and here it was launched at you like a rocket. And it hit, and we all enjoyed it and had a good time. It feels like, in the interim, the reason we've enjoyed their stuff so much is because they've had voices like Tim Miller and Ryan Reynolds working with them to, like, add their flavour. Because Deadpool and Deadpool 2 are undeniably very funny scripts, very well put together. The improv doesn't feel out of place because the tone is consistent.
Although I feel a couple of the gags fell flat in Deadpool 2 for me.
That's probably the lack of Tim Miller, probably.
There's probably I think there's a similar sort of feeling in this, but even more so.
Yeah.
So like the directors of Deadpool movies helped sort of iron out flaws in these guys' writing, whereas
this is completely their baby.
Ruben, what's his name? Fleischer.
Yeah.
Isn't capable of doing that, I don't think.
Ruben.
On my planet, I was kind of a loser, like you.
Fleischer.
Turd in the wind.
Yeah, oh god.
It's better than Venom.
It's better than Venom.
That, in terms of Ruben Fleischer's oeuvre, it's better than Venom.
I recommend doing what Lou and I did. I recommend going to see it, if you are going to see it, after a rewatch of the first one.
I mean, rewatching Zombieland is usually a good idea, to be fair.
It's never a bad shout, but I think that's probably why I enjoyed it more than you did. Because I was just like, okay, let's see what they do next. Let's see what happens next.
I think I was slightly coloured by the fact that I'd heard some mixed things about it.
You can't say that anymore.
I can't...
Mixed things, you can't say that anymore.
I kind of went into it like, okay, prove me, like, make me laugh.
Yeah.
Make me laugh. And it kind of didn't much at all. And I think that, as I said a couple of times in the cinema, the killer for a comedy is when it's not funny.
Yeah.
So if your comedy isn't funny, then your comedy isn't funny and your horror isn't frightening. So tonally, it's all over the place, and it's like, oh, okay.
I do got to commend them on their kills though, for the zombie genre. I think their kills are quite good. Yeah.
Excellent gore, not frightening horror, and most of the stakes that they have there, they do attempt to raise the stakes a couple of times, but most of it's undermined by, again, bad comedy.
Odd jokes.
Yeah.
It's a weird one. Even so, it's really nice to see the four main players interact as these characters again.
Chemistry between those four is still there. Like,
yeah,
it's
nice to be reminded that Eisenberg is a very entertaining performer.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he is really good in stuff. He's just also really stupidly. His delivery is misguided or mismatched in a lot of other stuff that is both good and terrible.
There are some weird moments where the voiceover, because he's got the narration again. But there are some weird moments where the narration sort of tells you something's going to happen in the past tense, and then it doesn't happen.
Yeah, there's a key there's also a key moment in the final scene.
Yeah. That
is such a and then the narration spells it out, and you're like,
and it just
we got that. It was a full on. Are you Arthur from down the hall?
It just felt like a
moment.
cop out, you know what I mean?
Yeah. However, Don't take negative
But
Nancy
it's better than Cop
and semi-entertain's word for it. Lou, what did you think?
I enjoyed it. Oops.
You're sort of here.
I'm stuck by the seatbelt.
Oh my god, you had a lot of fun, right?
What it's there for.
Safety is stopping me.
Seatbelts are there for a reason.
Yes, that's rule number 2.
Ah, it's a rule.
Seatbelts.
So it's one of them. What was the question? Oh yeah.
What do you think of the movie?
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Question.
It's a switch off your brain movie.
Switch off your brains, movie.
I find
Aha!
zombie movies of recent very boring. Apart from Shaun of the Dead, obviously.
Well, it's not recent anymore.
Well,
It's 15 years old.
in the last few years, should I say that? So I think, and I'm not really into gore. I love horror, but not gore. But for some reason, I think Zombieland is really, really fun. I love the characters. I love Woody Harrelson. He's amazing, and I love him.
Oh,
I just thought, not in that way.
I mean, he's Woody Harrelson. It's okay to love him.
It's funny.
As he says in the movie in reference to Elvis Presley, there's something for everyone.
Just don't forget his organic pears.
Yeah, oh
It's
yeah.
what? It's what?
There's a whole thing where apparently he kicked off on the set of Solo because they couldn't get him his organic pears that he wanted.
I thought you said organic hairs.
No.
It's like, oh.
All hairs are
gross.
organic.
Does he eat them?
I'm not
But no,
sure what just happened there.
Yeah, I enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I thought it was funny. I just found what's her name, Little Rock,
Yeah.
really annoying, but that's a trait of mine. So
What hating the young female co-stars of the movie?
yeah,
You just don't like Abigail Breslin, do you?
they're just really annoying.
She felt underutilized. She
also-
was, without going into spoilers, obviously she wasn't in it as much as the other
Also,
3.
Well, out of the 4 main
Michael.
cast, she's the only person who doesn't get billing before the titles. I
Yeah.
thought was weird.
I think maybe now having seen it, I think maybe it's a screen time thing almost.
Maybe.
Maybe they only had it for a limited period of the run.
It'll be a
the shooting.
contractual thing. It always like the whole like billing order and the
Yeah.
thing is it's
Yes,
all
because it
contractual.
was Woody Harrelson, Jesse Eisenberg,
And Emma
with
Stone.
Emma Stone.
Was it with or and?
It was with, and then it was.
Fucking YouTube.
And then it
Again,
was-
what? That's the 3rd shit driver we've seen today. Actually, that was illegal YouTube, which is a bad place to do it.
I do think that a lot of things were very predictable.
Yeah.
I won't go into it because spoiler free.
Yeah, and predictable to the point of like just undermining its own
Yeah.
plot.
Yeah.
In
Yeah.
a way.
There
Yeah.
were several things where you were like, well, that was obvious.
Yeah.
You can't use that as a shocking moment when you
You phoned it
do
in
you
and.
think that your audience are dumb.
Yeah.
Um,
I
Yeah.
think they do.
Apart from that, I mean, some of them might be. I don't know, but
Some of them might be real Madisons, am I right?
We
Fuck you.
eat, sleep, and breathe movies, though, don't we? So we.
Yeah, I think we are outliers. I think the general audience might find a lot to love in this, but
Are the
problem
general
is,
audience flocking to see a 10-year-old sequel to
Well,
what is
no,
essentially
the
now a cult
cinemas-
movie?
the cinema's
But
pretty
it's
bare.
got Woody Harrelson in it.
Yeah.
I mean,
He's so good.
Yeah, but it's also Halloween season, and like you said, we were 3 of about 8 people in
you
there.
ready for lights?
Yeah.
Oh!
So, all in all, had a lot of fun. Thought it was fine.
It was fine.
Oh, well, in that case, what do you think of Zombieland Double Tap? If you saw it, let us know in the comments. If you didn't see it, like my Instagram polls today are suggesting, then tell us what you thought the plot was in the comments. And for our spoiler-filled thoughts, look out for Big Damncast episode 175, available later this week. You can't miss it. It'll have Woody Harrelson in the thumbnail.
175, a century and 3/4.
I
Yeah.
won't be there.
Oh,
Well, you'll be there in our hearts, in spirit.
in our minds. You can't see
Can't
it.
see
Can't see
it.
me,
Can't
just
see
put your
what you're
finger in
recording.
it.
Bye!
Finger on